home from work, wherever it might be, we want to enjoy our outdoors, and it's the bugs that chase us back in. Or what is the alternative? Running around and buying a whole bunch of products and all the sprays and the chemicals and maybe having a service. Imagine if you didn't have to do any of that anymore. Imagine that you had a system that was safe, it was silent, and it was simple. I call it the 3 S's, and that is really the heart and soul of the DynaTrap. We're so excited tonight to have this. We're launching it here in HSN. I will tell you, we have the most bulbs, which we'll explain in a moment, than anybody else, and we have the most affordable price than anybody else in 3 great colors. We start off with your choice of the 1 acre or the ½ acre. This is the 1 acre. Can you imagine 1 acre? That's how much it's gonna cover. This is the stone in the 1 acre. The one I have beside me is the bronze, which is great, and we love that because it matches so many of our outdoor furniture pieces. And then we have your classic black. So this is the 1 acre size. The second option you have is what's called the ½ acre. Right here's the ½ acre, and you get everything you need to help you get rid of all those things that we hate and really ruin our outdoor experience. We've got a lot to get into because maybe you've never seen the DynaTrap before, and we're gonna tell you the brilliant technology. I do wanna show you the value we've put together because, as I mentioned, we have the most affordable option anywhere with the most bulbs anywhere. And believe it or not, you even get a 90-day test run on this. Normally we offer 30 days return. We've tripled it to 90 days. You can basically use it all summer, and if you're not thrilled, you can still send it back, which is huge. All right, here we go. So for the ½ acre, and a ½ acre, I was shocked. I've had candles and other things that cost me a fortune that wouldn't even cover 15 feet. A ½ acre, $115.43. You get a set of 4 total bulbs. The extra 2 are $18 for a retail of $133.43, and we're at $79.80. The big 1 acre, which is amazing, $156.96. You get enough bulbs for a whole year with that one as well. That's $28 with a retail of $184.96. All right, I'm also on Facebook because a lot of you might have questions for Peter, who's going to be joining me in 1 second. And also on Facebook, or if you want to call in, tell us, what's your worst bug issue? Like, what drives you nuts? What sends you in the house instead of enjoying that outdoor space? Is it mosquitoes? Is it the flies? What is your bug problem? Well, we're gonna hear from Peter right now. He's gonna tell us his serious bug problem and how he solved it. Hi, Peter.
How you doing?
What was the first thing you said to me, though? We sit down to meet, and what did you say?
That I've tried everything imaginable to get rid of the mosquitoes.
Right.
And you know what, it's especially, I'm thinking about everyone out there who's like me, and you're the one who's, how come I always get bit and no one else gets bit? Why am I the one who gets bit? If that's you and you're just like me, this is going to be perfect. And maybe you've tried all those other options to get rid of the mosquitoes. I was thinking about Memorial Day weekend. So was your weekend kind of slappy, bitey, and buggy?
Yeah, or ruined.
Because you're finally, right, ruined because you're spending time outside right now. This is the great time to enjoy your great patio, the barbecues, the picnics, eating outside, just relaxing outside. And if you can't do it because of bugs, it's disappointing, it's discouraging. This is the way to do it with this DynaTrap. It is so amazing, and I love that you said the 3 S's because it's silent, it's simple,
and it's safe.
And it's safe, exactly, because you've tried everything else. I mean, I could go through so many of those stories of the things that I've tried, where you're trying, you know, certainly the sprays, and we're out there and we're spraying, and you hate them. You know it's all over you, and then maybe you want to be outside.
And you're coating your body with chemicals.
Right. And then you're like, oh, I want to go outside in our backyard for a little bit. Then you spray up, and you're like, well, now I'm going to go out. Maybe you're gonna go out to dinner after that, and you're thinking, I need to go back in and take a shower. You've tried those. You've tried the things, you told me your story about, what were you burning?
My husband has these things, and you have to have them literally within 2 inches of you.
Right.
And you light them, and then they sit there and they don't really do something, and he spends a fortune just getting these new cartridges to put him in and out all the time. It's such a waste of our money.
It really is. So should I go through and show everyone exactly how this works and why it's gonna be such a better solution than all those other, you know, ideas and things that you've tried?
Honestly, Peter, this is brilliant, you guys. The way this works is so smart.
Well, I'm glad you said that it's brilliant because DynaTrap has spent, you know, so much time coming up with this advanced technology to bring these mosquitoes, these bugs, to this trap and to trap them there until they expire, and it's going to help you being outside. So we saw that it has that blue light. Now remember, this is a specially designed light. This blue light is a temperature that they can see that attracts those bugs to it. And then we have that powerful powerful fan. The fan then draws them in. But here's what's cool about that light. What that light is doing, that light is heating up. So we've got the light, we have warmth from that light, but then that light is heating up that coated surface that you're seeing right there of titanium dioxide, which then produces carbon dioxide.
That's brilliant.
Right? Which is duplicating or mimicking our breath.
Well,
when we
exhale.
exhale, we're exhaling carbon dioxide. That's what these predatory bugs are really honing in on.
Right.
That's why they come at us. That's why they're looking to get us, to bite us. So this is going to act just like that. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have the light. You can see the light. We're going to have the warmth. We're going to produce that carbon dioxide. The mosquitoes, the bugs. Again, this is going to do such a great job. It's going to, as they get close and realize, wait a minute, this isn't somebody's blood I can get. It's going to get trapped by that fan, sucked down in here into the trap where they can't get out, and then they will expire. And now you've collected those mosquitoes, and they're not biting you or anyone else in the family.
Right. Have you ever had a little barbecue in the backyard and you've had one of the zappers? Those are the worst things because they hit and they go zzz, and you see a little spark, a little flame, and I think they're just really cruel and they're just awful, and it really doesn't set a great ambiance when you're out in your backyard and you hear those things getting zapped. These don't do this. They're almost completely whisper quiet, which I love about these.
Absolutely.
So they're not distracting, and they sit there 24/7 just doing their job, and that's what I think makes them so exceptional. Again, it's the 3 S's. They're safe, they're simple, and they're also, there's the third one. I had it down.
Safe, simple, and silent.
Yeah. And that's what I love about it too, guys. And here's the thing. This to me is what took the cake for me. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm doing a mosquito trap or whatever, right? And I thought, oh, it's gonna be one of those other odd things. Teeny, you have to have it right beside you. It only works this far, and it doesn't really work at all. What I love about this is we're giving you, because you might be skeptical, and I get it. We have tried, Pete, as you said, we've tried it all. Maybe you have a monthly spray service, which you had. Maybe you've got citronella candles out there. You know, we've tried everything, and you're like, nothing works. Try this, and we're gonna stand behind it along with the folks from DynaTrap. You get 90 days. Now, I think that's really huge because right now we're hitting June, July, August. We know those are going to be the 3 worst mosquito bug months there could possibly be. You have until September 2nd to make sure you absolutely love this. And if it didn't work, there is no way we'd give you 90 days to try it out. We're going to give you not 90 days starting in January when there's no bugs. I mean in the heart of the buggy bitey season, and you can get it tonight. We have the most affordable one that's available. We have the most bulbs that anyone offers, and we have the best price for that combination. And by the way, I think what else is important to understand, and we're going to go through more of this in just a second, is we're the only place you can get this configuration. And notice our flex pay. We have flex pay available, both 5 flex pays, so you can get this home for $15 and some change. You have 90 days, the worst of the bitey season, to try it out. And if you don't love it, we're still gonna refund you. That is unprecedented. And if you have your HSN card, you'll get a 6 flex tonight as well.
So, Suzanne, when I was describing how this works, so how that technology works, right? So how we're gonna attract those mosquitoes. So this has been third-party tested. So we're gonna take care of mosquitoes, flies, hornets, wasps, moths, and stink bugs. Now, is it gonna work on other bugs that you might have at your house? Yes, but these have been third-party tested that is going to attract and trap these bugs that you're seeing right there. There they are, the mosquitoes and flies. I mean, number one, for so many people, it's definitely outside my house, is mosquitoes. But in some areas, you know, flies then become a problem. Maybe wasps are a big problem for you. It's going to work on them. But now, how am I going to use this when you get it home? What do I do? So here's what's so cool about this. So whether you have the half acre or the acre, and we can talk a little bit about how to choose which one, but the most important thing is you're going to get this home. You want to put this about 20 to 25 feet from where you and your family are going to be spending the time outside. And that's the difference with a lot of the other options out there. You know, sometimes you take those candles and things and they're right next to you. So for the bugs to even be affected by that, they really have to be on top of you already. But if this was our patio area, this is our patio furniture, maybe you wanted to eat or relax outside, we're going to put our DynaTrap about 20 to 25 feet away. We're going to plug it in, and here's the part that gets really good. You're going to plug it in and you're going to leave it on 24 hours a day.
Wow.
Which is so neat because all these other options we're talking about, they're temporary, maybe they're trying to repel these bugs temporarily and then they come back, or maybe they're only doing it when you're there. How about trapping and collecting mosquitoes while you're sleeping? So we're talking about running this large one, 10 cents a day.
Yeah, that's great.
10 cents a day or 3 cents a day for the half acre. But you're going to put this somewhere, you're going to plug it in. And this is what I loved about it, because I've tried all the complicated things. I have to go back every month or every week, and I have to add something. I have to buy something new. Put this out there, let it run 24 hours a day, and see what it can do. You can go out there and peek into the little basket, and you'll see all the bugs that it's trapping, and you know that your outdoors are going to be better right then and there. But that's the thing I want everyone to understand. 24 hours a day, leave it on. It'll trap during the day. It'll trap certainly the majority of them at night, but it does such a great job. You are going to be so happy. I used the half acre for a very long time, and again, our patio furniture and everything was over here. I just put it 20 feet in the other direction. I hang it up. You want to have it about 2 to 6 feet off the ground.
Okay.
That's the flight zone for all your biting bugs. So you want to have it there. So we include a chain to hang the half acre. You can put it on a shepherd's hook. You can put it anywhere to make sure that it's going to just protect your outdoors. But I love that this is doing the job 24 hours a day.
Oh, absolutely. Now, okay, why do we get so many bulbs, and explain the bulb life? Yeah,
so we're giving you a year's supply of bulbs. So if you have it on 24 hours a day and it's running all the time, what's gonna happen with the bulb, you're gonna get about 3 to 4 months on that bulb. You're gonna start to see that it'll dim a little bit, and that's when you wanna change the bulb. So we're giving you, with both, a year's supply. Now, in Florida, it's definitely a year's supply. But when we talk about bugs and we talk about mosquitoes, it's kind of that 50-degree mark. As soon as it tops 50 degrees, the bugs are out and they start to get us. So if you live in a northern climate where certainly in the winter months it's going to be well below 50 degrees, you could turn it off, maybe put it in the garage. So you could get up to 2 years when you're only using it 6 months a year to protect your yard from the bugs. So it's nice to have those bulbs. But again, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, you can go out there and just peek into the basket and see how many bugs you've collected. There's nothing else for you to do. You can put it somewhere in your yard. Oh, I know we get a lot of questions, Suzanne, on, well, how do I choose? Do I need the half acre or the acre?
Yes.
Because you might be saying, well, my house is on an acre of property, so should I get the full acre? Well, it really depends. Remember, if you're talking about your backyard, maybe the half acre is good, because you're not actually, your house is gonna act as a barrier. So if you even had the acre, it's not gonna be able to take care of your front yard. So maybe if you wanna do the front and backyard, it could be 2 half acres.
Oh, gotcha.
Right, because that house is a barrier. If you think about how this is going to work, we describe it sometimes as if you drop a stone into a lake and you see those ripples go out, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of the same thing, but your house is gonna act as a barrier from that 360-degree protection that we're getting. So again, think about it that way. But if you have, you know, a large backyard, then maybe the acre is gonna be perfect. I mean, at some point, it's sort of like bigger is better. You're gonna get a lot of action from that full acre. Because I did the half acre for a long time. I'm new to having the full acre out back. It's only been a couple of weeks. It is unbelievable. We're catching so many bugs.
Well, here's
for us,
my
it's
thing.
Mosquitoes. In
here's
Florida,
my thing.
it's
I
awful.
think go big or go home. I mean,
That's
come on.
right.
I'm like, why not help my neighbors out too? I mean, I definitely do not have half an acre. I don't even have close to that. But I'm thinking, or a full acre. But I'm thinking, gosh, why not just get the full acre and really get the maximum results out of it? Because obviously it's designed for a full acre. Okay, let me give you just a couple of quick updates. We have 3 colors. That normally isn't true when they offer these. We're excited to have all 3 colors. We have the stone I have in front of me. This is going to be the really popular bronze. Always the best seller is going to be the black. Rocky, which is the most popular color at this point? And they all look great. The bronzes, there you go. So the bronze, we have a lot of you who have our outdoor lights, which you and I have sold for years. We love the bronze because it also matches so much of the outdoor furniture we all have now. So that is the bronze color. Remember, you're choosing, do you want the 1 acre? And I think if you can swing it, especially with our 5 flex, why not? Or you can get the half an acre. Both of them come with all the bulbs. You'll get 2 with the unit itself in the 1 acre, and then you get 2 more sets, so 6 bulbs total for the 1 acre. And then with the half an acre, you have the 1 inside, and you get 2 additional bulbs. Please remember, we have the biggest configuration of bulbs. No one gives more than we do. And we have the most affordable version of this. You got to remember, those bulbs are the extra bonuses in this, and we have just an awesome deal. What I love is the 90-day. That really was, for me, the icing on the cake. Because I think, Peter, we've been disappointed with a lot of bug catchers, zappers, squeezers, whatever that are out there.
Exactly, and that's why the DynaTrap, you know, the technology is so impressive that it's doing a great job. Yes. And it has those multiple ways to attract all those bugs and then trap them. And it makes it great for the family when you're out there to know that you are trapping those mosquitoes. So you can kind of think of it, you know, there's 800 mosquitoes in the yard. Well, after day one, there's going to be a lot less than 800. And the next day after that, we're trapping those mosquitoes. And remember, this is going to be beyond mosquitoes. We're talking about mosquitoes, flies, wasps, hornets, stink bugs, and moths.
Right.
So again, whatever the problem is in your yard, those have been independently tested. But don't forget that it will also take care of the bugs that are in your, and oh, here's something that's important. I wanted to mention this, and I'm surprised we haven't already gotten those concerns, that some people are concerned that, am I going to, you know, maybe collect the bugs, or how about this, bees and butterflies and things like that. Yeah. They are not attracted to the DynaTrap, so you don't have to worry, because especially, you know,
these are a really good question.
These are all the good bugs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how you said it, the good bugs. So if it's the pollinators, we need those, especially the bees.
Ladybugs, I love ladybugs.
Right, exactly. So we're not going to attract those. We're only going to get those predatory bugs. We're going to trap them because they're the ones that are biting you. They're the ones that are causing problems outside.
So online, people are giving us their horror stories. We're getting the bug horror stories, because we all have them. We all have them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Connie says the mosquitoes are off the chain in Missouri. So Connie, I hope you're picking get the Acre one, Connie, for gosh sakes. Also, this was a really interesting question. This is from Jane. She says, I hate to ask, but can you use it in the house? Now, there are people wondering, is there an odor? Because you remember, you know what happens? The in the house question is really interesting, because a lot of the systems that are out there have a really sicky scent or a weird odor, or they just a citronella candle. It just, quite frankly, stinks. This has no odor whatsoever.
Not at all. I mean,
zero.
It's very quiet. Now, it is designed to be outside.
Yes.
So, but it definitely has no odor. It is extremely quiet. There are no chemicals. I mean, that might be maybe the biggest difference between the DynaTrap and so many of those other methods out there, is that so many of them are designed to work with some sort of chemical or some sort of smell. This is so different, and it really does a much better job. I think it solves all the problems with those other ones. You know, my big thing was that so many of those methods bring the bugs close to you before they can work.
Right.
So even if the spray, I mean, the spray, the bugs are going to be around you, and then maybe they won't bite you if you have that spray on, but you're not doing anything to reduce the amount of bugs. So every day you go out there, you're doing that same spray method. So again, it really is a better way. So I think you're going to be happy with that. And I'm really blown away when I start hearing about even some of the more northern states, how awful the bugs. Did I show you our bunch of bugs here? This is outside of Chicago, a suburb of Chicago in Illinois.
Man.
This is just a few weeks. I think it's almost 3 weeks. And this is what you're talking about.
Wow.
So again, I was surprised, because I've been in Florida so long now, that, you know, even when these climates that were just suddenly cold, but when the bugs come out, it's impressive.
Yeah,
so something
everywhere.
like this, you will be blown away by the amount of collection that it'll do with those.
Okay, so do me a favor, if you're trying to get through on the phone, I understand we're a bit busy for this. I would go to hsn.com, and then you can just knock it out. You're first in line, get the color you want, get the size you need. Also, a lot of you are asking, can I use an extension cord with this, Peter? And yes, you can. We have extension cords all over the set, so that works with the extension cord, right?
Absolutely.
And then also somebody wants to know if it's battery operated.
No, you plug it in.
Not. You plug it in.
You plug it in. That's all you have to do. Plug it in. And remember, you want to plug it in and have it running 24 hours a day. And that's what's so neat about this. Remember, we're going to trap those mosquitoes all those different ways. You're looking at that light. Which one are we looking at? Right here. So we're looking at that light, that specially designed light. That's the light that they are attracted to. We're going to attract them with that light. The light causes warmth, which is then going to activate that titanium dioxide and create that carbon dioxide. That's exactly what attracts the mosquitoes to us.
That's brilliant.
Are you someone who gets bit a lot? We're always like, why do they like me?
Oh, yeah.
It's certain people.
I swear they bite everybody. I don't know who's. I've never been out with somebody who goes, I never get bit.
It's annoying.
Okay, they're freaks, and they're just total freaks, because I don't know them. All right, so Doris is saying, hi, everyone. Jonathan says, will it trap spiders, too? No, it doesn't trap spiders. It's the flyy, bitey things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no spiders. Sorry about that. Let's see. But it traps all the other flyy, bitey things, which is what I'm most concerned about, quite frankly. No, remember, you do plug this in. And by the way, you plug it into a standard outlet. So if you're concerned about wattage, it just plugs into a standard outlet.
Right.
And let's see. Oh, I love this. Shelley said keeping our pets safe outside with chemicals. Boy, that's a great idea, isn't it? So you don't have to worry about your pets
not at all.
they're outside.
Well, because that was one of the things that I did. You know, you have people come and spray, or I have the one you attach it to the hose and then you spray it everywhere. Absolutely, if you have pets, and then what are those chemicals doing to all the things we talked about, the good bugs, things like that. Now, I have this here. It looks like I have some crazy smoke. I wanted everyone to see, we've been talking how well this works and how it attracts the bugs. And I'm going to put this close, and I want you to see, this is the fan.
It's just drinking in that.
Exactly. So when the bugs get attracted to this, then they look around, and then it's too late, and they get sucked down in there, and they go down into the basket, and they expire. So this is how it works, and you're seeing with that dry ice, how it is, that fan is bringing that in. So that's what it's doing with the bugs. It's attracting them to those lights and then pulling them down into the unit, and there's a collection basket on the bottom. And you know, I was thinking about how often you would have to change that collection basket. Honestly, for many people, it's just gonna be a matter of looking in there, but especially on this acre, it is so big that this is gonna be a long time before you're gonna have to empty that, or the half acre. This isn't something that you do on a weekly basis or anything like that, because even 2 months worth of bugs, it doesn't take up a lot of space. I mean, think about thousands and thousands of mosquitoes as they die in the trap. They don't take up a lot of space.
No, they wouldn't.
So it really is nice that
you're not out there every day having to dump it out. Can you show us how we do cleanup?
You're going to go out there every day
just to see.
Look at it.
Oh yeah.
Look at how much they collected.
I'm going to show you one back here in just a second up close.
Do you want to do that?
But can you just show us how we clean it?
I'll do it right here on this one.
Perfect.
So, again, you have the whole trap on there, and basically I just counterclockwise, I turn that. Yeah, it comes right off. And basically you can see here.
Oh, it trapped him. There's a moth that got in there. There you go.
Here's something else that I like to recommend. You can empty this maybe late afternoon, the following day, because obviously he was just trapped in there, that moth. So he's still alive. So when you open this, that can happen. So then you just have, let me show you that again. So what we're doing with this is when the fan's on, you see that? It opens these two flaps, and that allows those bugs to get in there, and then you can see it'll come back up so they can't get back out. You just pull that out, and there's your trap, and then you empty that, you put it back on there, and then this just goes right on here. Oh, God. Don't knock that over. Here we go. And then that just fits on, turn, and it's locked on just like that.
Easy.
So it really is simple. And again, it's not something you're doing on a daily or even weekly basis. You are going to love using this because we talked about those 3 S's. It is super simple and it works. The technology is there to make it easier for you, to make it less of a hassle.
Right.
I mean, I think about the hassles. You know, I had some of these things where I used to have to buy every month the propane tanks to use for your barbecue, and then you'd have to hook it to something, and then there was bait that I have to buy. I just couldn't manage it because I would forget, and why there's so many mosquitoes. I don't even know if it was working. You don't know if the propane's still there. That was just one of the things. But then the sprays, and then the guys coming to the house, and you don't know what is being sprayed.
Oh, no way.
I mean, it really,
it's got to be bad.
Exactly, and that was some of the comments that you were just talking about, that you feel a lot better. You're like, okay, we can get rid of these bugs, but we don't have to have any of these chemicals in our yard.
Well, it's such a safe alternative. By the way, I love this. One gal says, it's like a force field for your house. This is Carrie. One of the things I was happiest about was it didn't attract pollinators like honeybees and butterflies, just the predatory flying insects. I have 3. Carrie says, I am obsessed. It's a good obsession, like seriously, because I do think we've been so disappointed for so long on how ineffective all those alternatives are out there. They really are disappointing. And now you have something that's so quiet, it's so safe, it's so darn simple. And here's what I love. If you are a doubter, and I get it, you can be skeptical, we all are, because nothing seems to work. Try this. We're giving you a 90-day money-back guarantee. 90 days. That takes you through the thick of the buggy bitey season. Why not? We have the best value. Remember, we have more bulbs than anybody else, and we've got the most affordable price in a DynaTrap. It's all here. And by the way, that's only for tonight. I came back here because I wanted you to see this one, and hopefully you guys can get this. So this has been out here for a couple of days now, but I want you to see there. Oh, great shot. It is already completely filling up with those little critters, so they're not biting you, they're not bugging you. And I just wanted you to see one that's been on for a couple of days, even out here in buggy Florida. And trust me, Florida is the bug capital of the United States of America. We have more flyy, owie, itchy things than I swear almost anywhere else. Also, they do say in Ohio the state bird is the mosquito, and I'm from Ohio,
nice.
so I get it. So if you've got that issue, what is it? Is it the hornets? How about the flies that are all over your food when you're trying to eat outside and you're always swatting them away?
Exactly.
How many of you have tried the candles? You've tried the propane. You order the service. You put on the sprays on the babies and the bodies and the kids and the dogs, and those are all chemical laden. Why would you do that when you have such a brilliant alternative tonight? And with 90 days, I mean, you get till the beginning of September to try this out. That is a lot of bugs. And if you're not totally thrilled, we're gonna give you your money back, but this is the only day the entire year that we're gonna offer this as the today's special. So why tonight? Because number one, I got all the choices and all the colors. Rocky, just for my edification, what is the most popular size, the half acre or the 1 acre? The half acre, very good. So the half acres down here, the stone, the bronze, and of course we have the black. Those are the best sellers. And again, a half an acre, look at this nice size. It's not as big as a room. It's just very discreet. You don't even need it right beside you. In fact, it's more effective when it's 20 feet away from you. And I think that speaks volumes for it. Because all the other methods that we have to have, like a citronella candle, has to be plopped right beside us to work.
No, that was great. And I was thinking the same thing when I saw you with the one back there, which is, you know, approximately maybe a little less than 20 feet from us, excuse me, but that's a perfect spot for it. If this was our patio, because you want to draw them all there. And the other thing that's nice about this is a completely wooded area behind us. Maybe that's similar to your yard. So now you're taking care of all those bugs as they come out of that wooded area. All the foliage, that's where all those mosquitoes are going to be. So it's a great spot for it. So maybe that's just like your home. But I wanted to point out, as you talked about that half acre, something that's cool about the half acre is that and this is how I'm using mine at home, is that I'm hanging it from this chain. So we have a little overhang. I kind of have a little garage on the side, so it's away from the patio, and I can hang mine there. But also there's a mount where you can mount this to, so maybe it's the fence that you might have in the back. You can mount it and then it just slips over it. There's a little area here I can show you in the back that it's going to slip over the mount, which makes it super easy, and it's not going to be stuck there permanently. The mount will be mounted, and then you can remove the trap when you need to. But I think that's a great option, because many of us have a smaller patio area, or maybe you go out your backyard and it's a small area. This is perfect. You can put it along the fence line. You can put it somewhere where it's going to draw those mosquitoes, those flying insects away from you, and I think you're going to be so impressed.
So I do want to mention the half acre, and I want to add the FlexPay to it. Half acre by far is the most popular right now. And what happens with our Flex, if you're brand new, is you have 5 months to pay this off. Remember, you get 3 months to return it. So you get a good test run on this, but you get 5 months to pay it off. And what's great about that is use any major credit card or even PayPal, and you can spread your payments out over 5 months. Now, with the half acre on FlexPay, that's going to be a little over $15 over 5 months. And again, 90 days to make sure you're happy with it. That's unprecedented. Normally our return policy is only 30 days, and that's still a lot of time to make sure it works. You'll know within a few days if you love it or not. But to really have 90, we're saying take it and test it out all summer long is basically what we're saying.
I think it's amazing, because I know that if you had 30 days, you would be super impressed.
Right.
Because of the amount of bugs that it collects. And you know, you're getting it because you know that the mosquitoes have been harassing you, or the flies have been annoying you when you're trying to eat, or if it is the wasps or the hornets, whatever it is in your area, that's why you're getting it. I think in just a couple of, honestly, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, you're gonna look in that basket, in that container, and you are gonna be really impressed in a short time, because you know you have the problem and this is going to help it. Now, this is only like 2 feet from my head.
Right.
It's not the recommended area, but this is just in our set. But again, this is a great example where you could use the mount here. We have a hook right there. You could extend it down further with the chain. But this would be perfect if our table was just a few feet over. But this shows you that half acre, it fits perfectly. And how about the way it looks?
It looks great.
I mean, it's not something that people will, come to your backyard area and be like, what is that thing?
Right.
Because you remember, you talked about it, the big caged blue light that is zapping away. Yeah, exactly. I just think it's, again,
it looks like a lantern. It actually looks like a really pretty lantern is what it looks like. And I think what's even extra special is the fact that it needs to be 20 feet away. Can you imagine not having to have that buggy citronella, the smelly thing, the thing my husband lights up that's so ugly, I don't even know what it is, right beside you? Now you can enjoy your outdoor space. You can take back that area that typically in the evening, all you want to do is sit down with a nice cold beer at the end of the day, and you have to go inside because the mosquitoes are crazy, they're driving you nuts, they're killing you. Just imagine taking back that real estate around your home, on your balcony. Maybe it's your front porch you want to enjoy in the mornings with a cup of coffee. Now you can take that space back with very little effort. Just set it, plug it in, and let it do its thing. Margaret does ask this, is the unit weatherproof for all types of summer storms?
Great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. When we talk about running this 24 hours a day all through the summer, yeah, the heaviest rainstorms, whatever we have, leave it outside plugged in. It is all sealed up and it's ready for that weather. So you can definitely leave it outside. And you know, I was just thinking about my little story, horror story again, is all I remember is trying to eat outside.
Right.
And when you can't eat outside, so then you have to get the spray out. And as soon as someone takes the spray, you're like, no, go across the other side of the yard just so you can spray up and then come back to the table because you're freaked out because there's all the food. So whether it's mosquitoes when you're trying to eat outside, or you talked about the flies being all over the food, if you could just get that back to be able to have those meals outdoors, and we know how nice that can be. We experience that on vacation. What if you could do it every day and not be harassed by those bugs? I think that is such a nice way to enjoy the summer.
Well, I think, you know, we get so excited about spending time outdoors and then we get so disappointed we got to go indoors because we're getting eaten up. I mean, it happens. All right, a couple things on Facebook too. I love this. Maureen wants to know, do you think the half acre is big enough for an apartment patio?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow, that should be plenty, plenty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It definitely would be.
That'd be good space. Okay, Sandy says, I love this, Sandy. Great idea. She said, perfect for my husband for Father's Day. Kathy wants to know, does it attract flies? So can you tell us again the bugs that are independently
third-party testing, which is great. So mosquitoes, flies, then we're gonna have your hornets, your wasps, we're gonna have moths and stink bugs. Those are the ones that have been independently tested. But again, there's many other bugs, and maybe in your area you have something else. It doesn't mean it doesn't attract those. These have been tested. You know, we couldn't test for every single bug, but we wanted to make sure that it's been tested and proven to work, and these are the 6 that it works on, but it's going to work on those bugs that you have at home as well.
Okay, so Mark, I love this. Mark already has one, and he said, it can. My kids found mosquitoes, flies, and Asian beetles in it. So Mark's children have been digging in to see their little insect experiment to see what's inside there. Right. So that's just an example.
Again, the problem bug in your area, and maybe it is the beetle, and if he had success trapping and collecting those beetles, that's fantastic, because again, it is designed to draw those bugs in and trap them, and it really works well. And when you compare it to not just the success of those other methods, but the hassle of the other methods, I think you'll find that this is such a winner.
Well, and I think to your point, the lack of success of the other methods.
That too.
You know, they really are, and we try it all, don't we? Also, how many of you really do use like heavy duty sprays? Maybe you live in a wooded area. For us, maybe you're around water, standing water, ponds, lakes, whatever it might be. We've got a whole bunch of what are the mangroves? Our mangroves, they just produce every bitey thing you can imagine. And you know what? It's very dangerous spraying chemicals all over us, but sometimes just to enjoy the great outdoors, that's what we've got to do, or just to enjoy our great patio or our balcony. This is an awesome time to try it. Here's why. And again, I got to repeat this, and I'm sorry it sounds like a broken record. You have 90 days on our return policy. Our everyday policy is 30 days. We're so sure this is going to work for you. We're going to allow you to use it all summer long. It's not January to like March you get to use it. In the heat, in the thickest, worst part of the year, when we get more bites and more bugs and more flyy things, we're going to allow you to try it out. And if you're not 100% thrilled with this, you're going to get a refund. We've extended our normal return policy to 90 days. That means we're very confident that this is going to work really well for you. And I get it, because we're all skeptical, especially when it comes to all these silly things that are out there to try to get rid of mosquitoes or protect us from them. Why not try this? It's a safe, silent, and simple alternative. You don't have to worry about the zappies. There's no zap. There's no chemicals. There's no nasty smells. There's no odors in here.
Right.
Guys, you plug it in, you forget about it. Go back and check every now and then clean out that basket. Every couple of months, maybe 4 or 5 months, you're gonna have to replace the bulbs. And by the way, we give you the most bulbs of any I'll spit it out there. The most bulbs of any configuration that's available. You are getting a year's worth, and in some cases that'll even last longer, because obviously if you're up north, you're not going to use it all year long. But if you use it 24/7 for an entire year, you're getting enough bulbs for an entire year in our exclusive configuration. You must remember that. We also have the most affordable version of this. Please compare apples to apples, guys. Nobody has this big of a configuration, and no one has this value price equation associated with it. So if you bought the half acre normally, that would be $115.43. Remember, you're getting 3 bulbs, 1 that comes with it and 2 extra bulbs, so 3 total. The 2 extra ones are $18 for $133.43. If you're gonna go for the wampum acre, which is an awesome size to get as well, it's $156.96. Your extra year of bulbs, $28 for a retail value of $184.96. But I'll tell you what, to me, even if you're skeptical, I'd say absolutely go for this tonight. With our flex pay, it's a little over $15 for that half acre. Get it at home. If it doesn't work, you've got 90 days. Can you imagine, as you said, Peter, in a couple days, 2 weeks, in 30 days, that would be enough to prove this is gonna work.
Exactly. You're gonna be able to look right in there and you're gonna see. So I know maybe people are just tuning in. I want you to understand how this works and how DynaTrap has nailed this technology to make sure that this is going to give you your backyard back and get you away from all the biting and all the slapping of those mosquitoes. So here's what's happening. We have that light, this UV bulb, specifically designed to attract those bugs. So they're attracted to it. And then we have this coated surface. So when the light heats up, that titanium dioxide is going to produce carbon dioxide. That's exactly what we're exhaling from our breath. So those two things bring those mosquitoes in, and as they get close, there's a fan that's gonna pull them down in there, trap these mosquitoes. So again, you see that blue light, don't think zap, think trap, because we're gonna trap them down there. So when you get it home, those 3 things, that technology is gonna draw them in, trap them here. You're able to plug this in and run it 24 hours a day. So no matter what you're doing, when you're sleeping, we're trapping mosquitoes. When you're at work, we're trapping mosquitoes.
Trapping flies.
Exactly.
Hornets, bees.
Mosquitoes, flies, hornets, wasps, and
moths. Not bees, because they're pollinators.
Right, no, not bees. Bees are good. We love the bees.
We love
moths,
bees.
and then the stink bugs. So it does such an amazing job at collecting all of them that this is the way to finally be able to enjoy the outdoors. If you're someone like me who gets bit again and again, constantly, and you've tried all those other methods, this one has been really... For me, I have to be honest, and I know my wife Debbie would agree, that I could not keep up with the others. Hey, did you do that? I can barely keep up with taking care of the pool and everything else. If I have to think about the mosquito traps and everything else, this is one that I can plug in, and I don't have to do anything for weeks and weeks and weeks until I just look down there and think, oh, maybe it's time to empty it. And that's weeks or months, really, depending upon what you're collecting. But the traps, or I should say the baskets, are big enough that it's not a daily, weekly, or even monthly thing that you have to do.
Right.
Because again, if you're trapping tons and tons of bugs, it really doesn't take up a lot of space.
Okay, Regina says, and I love this, thanks Regina, she says, I've had my half acre for a year and love it. It really works and everyone should buy it. Yes, I agree with you too. Also, another person wanted to see how you clean out the half acre model.
Oh yeah, same way. Yeah, super easy. You're just gonna pull that off, and then it's same thing. It has the little, again, you can see that. This is what happens when the fan's on. That's how they go in and get trapped. That just lifts out and you dump it out, and that's it.
Patricia wants to know, will it work in a horse barn? Which I was thinking about that too, because they have flies in a horse barn.
Yeah, I would say definitely.
Yeah, you might want to go for the 1 acre, because there's usually a lot of flies in a horse barn.
Yeah, that's a good one. We don't, I grew up in New York, and we tended to have those big horse flies and things there. I don't notice them as much down in Florida, maybe because the mosquitoes are repelling even the horse flies. But again, flies is a big one, and it's going to work excellent on those flies.
Yeah, so I would say probably go for the 1 acre for your horse barn. I think that would work. Also, Denise says, my deck is on the 2nd floor, and my backyard is below. Will it protect us on the deck and in the backyard?
Well, here's what it's going to do. Again, that flight zone for these flying, biting insects is going to be from 2 to 6 feet off the ground. But But remember, what you'd want to do is you're eliminating those mosquitoes from your yard. You know what's interesting? When these mosquitoes, you know, they hatch, and it's, you know, you have to be careful. Even in as little as a ½ inch of water, that's what that's standing water. That's what produces all these mosquitoes. Just using mosquitoes as an example, that they stay in the same spot where they sort of hatch from. So they're not traveling all around. You're not getting new mosquitoes traveling from other parts. They stay in this area. So as you start to eliminate that population in your yard, so yes, if you're eliminating all those mosquitoes from on your patio, then you're going to get better protection at that deck as well, or that balcony as well.
All right, Marianne said, I bought the smaller one last year for the front because if you use your front lights, the insects are all over it, right? So you have your lights on in the front. That makes sense. She goes, it works so well. I bought a larger one for the backyard, and now we can enjoy our yard in the summer. I love it, and it works. And again, you know, I do think you can be a little bit skeptical. I get it. You get 90 days. It's our ironclad guarantee. We've actually tripled our return policy for this unit tonight only, by the way. It's our first today's special with DynaTrap, and it's our only one for the entire year. This is your best value. It's the most affordable version they do with the most bulbs that they do in any of their configurations. We have 3 great colors. We have the stone. We have, of course, the middle one is the bronze, and we have the classic black. The bronze is outselling all the other colors right now. The ½ acre is the most popular of your options, and you do have 2 choices. You've got the ½ acre, and then we have the full acre, which is about, I don't know, well, you can see them side by side here, so it gives you an idea of the size. But the ½ acre is the best, most popular one at the moment. And here's the thing, if you're thinking about it, what are your alternatives? Are you going inside when it hit dusk? That down here in Florida, man, you know, we're all indoors right as the sun's going down. And that's the one time we want to see a sunset, is when the sun is actually going down. And yet, the mosquitoes come out and tear you up. Is it your backyard? Is it your back deck? Is it a patio? Is it a vacation home? Is it your place? I mean, it just ruins the experience. And finally, we can get outdoors after a long winter. We want to truly be able to enjoy it all the time. And this is what it allows you to do. This is going to open up and free up that space. It welcomes you to the outdoors instead of repelling you from the outdoors. And instead of spending all that money, and here's an interesting point, year after year after year, it's an endless cycle buying sprays and citronella candles and all those torches and crazy stuff. Just buy this. Eventually, after a year, you're going to have to get new bulbs, but what the heck? That's a lot less expensive than propane, having a service come to your house. Whatever you might be spending your money on now, you'll reduce that cost dramatically. But please remember, tonight's your night, and I always love midnight because I have both options and every color available. Usually when Pete and I are together, by the end of the day, I do it, we're like, okay, we got one set available, and that's it in one color. But right now at midnight, you've got all the options available to you. If someone's just tuning in, let's take it from the top through and really explain how does this work and what's the technology behind it.
Yeah, exactly, and how it works, and then what you do with it when you get home, because I know, you know, that's a big question. But again, the technology is we're going to use that light. The light is going to attract those bugs to it. The light is also going to warm up, and it's going to heat up this coated metal, this titanium dioxide, producing carbon dioxide. So remember, that's what we're breathing out. That's what attracts the mosquitoes to us. That's what makes them want to bite us. So what happens is they think that they're going towards a warm-blooded animal of some type that they can bite, but they get close to it, and then that fan brings them down into the unit and traps them, and then they expire. So this is so great the way it works. So remember, you know, we haven't done that. Either of us stop talking because I want you to hear how quiet this is. We have 7 plugged in on this table.
Yep. It's amazing.
It really is so quiet. So it's quiet. There's no chemicals involved here.
There's no odor.
There's no odor. It's very quiet. It's safe. But now here's what you want to do. You want to get it home. And we've been talking about this. We don't want to have this, so this is not normally what you would do, where you would stand around and have it right next to you. Yep. You want to put your DynaTrap 20 to 25 feet away from the area where you're spending time, because that's going to draw all the mosquitoes, the flies, the stink bugs, the moths, everything away from you and the area that you want to enjoy, and trap them. So 20 to 25 feet, 2 to 6 feet off the ground. That's the kind of fly zone for those biting insects, and you're going to trap them, and your area is going to be a lot better. So we have a couple options with the ½ acre. You can hang it on the chain. It also has a mounting bracket, so you can find the perfect spot to put it so you can start eliminating those biting bugs. It really is nice. So that's the thing. keep it on 24 hours a day.
Right.
Because that's also a huge difference to so many of those other, you know, options to fight these bugs.
That's
you
right.
can't be fighting them 24 hours a day.
You gotta shut the propane
with
off.
sprays.
My husband's got to click off this flamey
the
thing
flames,
he has.
yeah, you were talking about the candles or the torches. 24 hours a day, it's going to be trapping those bugs, the bugs that are annoying you and the whole family, and especially if you're the one in the family who gets bit the most. You know, you ever see, you're getting, why am I getting bit on the face?
Oh,
I'm getting bit on my
Or
feet.
your legs,
It's
all over your legs.
awful.
Oh, okay,
so this is a way to make it so much better.
By the way, the weight on the half acre is 2.5 pounds, and on the 1 acre, it's a little over 8 pounds. So if you're gonna hang them, people are asking that. Also, the cord, yeah, how long's the
10 foot.
cord? And yes, you can plug in an extension cord.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So a lot of people know they're gonna have to get an extension cord for it. Yes, no problem there. And we wanna say hi to Dan in Nevada.
Excellent.
Because he actually bought his a couple of years ago. Hi, Dan, welcome. You're on with Pete and Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne and Pete. How are you guys doing this evening?
Great, how are you?
Great. So what's your experience been?
I actually have this exact same unit, the XL. I purchased it about 2.5 years ago on QVC when it was a special on your sister station, and I love it. I actually wound up, because I liked it so much after putting it on a table when I first got it, because I had the 90-day return policy, so I was like, all right, let's check it out. And I liked it so much that I actually paid an electrician to permanently install it and run electric because I didn't want to deal with extension cords to my patio cover.
Right.
It's great. Believe it or not, this is the first time it's on my list of things to do tomorrow to finally change and get replacement bulbs.
No kidding. So your bulbs have lasted a couple of years.
Yes, definitely. And I leave it on 24/7.
Perfect.
Where I have it mounted outside under my patio cover, I actually can't really see it because it's blocked by a shed.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's like out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
But I know it's running because when I go out and grill, then I see it. I see the light on and I hear it. Well, I don't really hear it, but I see the light on, and I definitely see from time to time bugs going in there.
Right.
And I could say one other thing. As you said before, the basket does hold for about a year. So it's not like every other day I have to get up and get on the ladder and pull that thing down and empty it. So it really, really does have a high capacity to hold, to hold all the bugs.
A lot of critters.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Dan, really quickly, and it's probably an obvious question, but if someone were on the fence tonight, they're like, oh, I don't know, I've tried everything. Would you recommend they give this a shot tonight?
I definitely would, and they could take a chance easy with the Easy Pay. Just make a quick small payment, get it, try it for the whole summer, and it really works. And like I said, I keep it on all the time. And believe it or not, here in Las Vegas we do get rain, so but the rain has not affected the unit in any way.
Oh, I love to hear that. That's great news. Well, Dan, thank you for taking your time to tell your story, because I do think people are skeptical because we have tried everything and nothing seems to work. So I really appreciate your time with us tonight.
And what I may wind up doing, if I can tomorrow, I'll take a picture and put a review and put it on the website so people could see how it looks permanently installed.
Oh, that's nice.
Really, really nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you, Dan. It was great chatting with you tonight.
Thanks, Dan.
Take care, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye, Dan. Also, Mark here is online with us on Facebook Live, and he says, I was skeptical. It works. I'm thrilled with it. He has one in his front yard and one in his backyard. It's funny because people were talking about Dan did the permanent installation. Mark and a couple people said, I got one, and then I ended up going back getting another one. So it's one of those things that when you try it, you like the results so much.
Right.
And I think it is. You have to really get your head around the concept. It doesn't need to zap. It doesn't need to be sprayed. It doesn't have to be odor. It doesn't have to be a harsh chemical. It can be very safe, very silent, and very simple. It's the 3 S's. That's what DynaTrap has really perfected, is making something so effective. And I love the fact that it doesn't have to be sitting right here beside me to work. Look how far away that one is. That's a perfect spot.
I really like that. So if this was your patio, and maybe this is where you're just lounging out, or you have your table if you want to be eating outdoors, that's a perfect look at the distance of where you want to keep that. Because think about that, all the bugs that are annoying, that are biting, are being drawn onto it, which is behind us, about 20 to 25 feet away. It's 2 to 6 feet off the ground. It's absolutely perfect. Now, I was interesting what you said. People are buying more than one. If you want to protect, maybe you have that front patio, maybe it's the little porch swing and you want to be out there, maybe the half acre out front and then having a half acre out in the back. Because if you're on a full acre, but your house is in the middle, the full acre, even in the backyard, is not going to be able to do the front yard because your house is going to act as a barrier, so those mosquitoes aren't going to be able to even see the full acre. So maybe a half in the front and a half in the back would be the way to go in that situation.
And Karen says, I have 5 half-acre units. She goes, I love them. They really work. Okay, you know, enough said on that one, right?
Very little bug problem at this point.
And this is Mary Ann's so right. She said the candles don't work. I don't like the sprays because of what's in them. That what goes on your skin obviously goes in your body. She doesn't want to put them on her grandchildren. Then in massive caps, if you were to go on to Facebook right now, she says, this really works, with a whole bunch of exclamation points. I can't wait for my husband to put the larger one up tomorrow.
That's it.
So again, you know, there's these options that, the options that she listed are options that we've tried and they just don't work, or they work but they're really harmful for you. This one is just easy. I love the 3 S's. It's simple, it's safe, and it's silent. It just sits there and does its job without you having to do anything else, other than every now and then, months from now, go clean out some bugs, and then, you know, maybe you have to change a bulb, but that won't be for a really long time. And again, with our configuration, this is so important, is with our configuration, what you're doing is you are getting more bulbs than any other configuration out there. We have the most affordable price than any other versions out there. And we have the half acre size and we have the full acre size in 3 different colors. With FlexPay, I love what Dan said. He said, you know, use these FlexPay with us and get it home for a little over $15 and really try it out. And you have 90 days. You have until the beginning of September, the whole buggy bitey season, to try this out. And if you don't absolutely love it, you send it back and we're going to refund your money. But please remember, this is the first, the last, and the only time, Pete, as you know, we're doing it as our best value of the day. And again, here we are. That one's, it looks beautiful. Actually looks like a pretty lamp.
Yeah, this is a good one too. Again, a front porch type area, and having that half acre over there, that looks great. It's a perfect way. If you're enjoying your rocking chair on the front porch, that is really great. And I wanted to comment on how easy this is to set up and get ready to plug it in. There's virtually nothing to do. You're basically going to take the collection basket, you're going to attach that, and you're going to plug it in, and you're set to go. So there isn't a ton of work and setup that you have to do. I'm talking to the husbands out there who have to set it up. You reminded me of that one. One of our viewers said, I got to get my husband to set that up. It's not a huge hassle. You're going to be able to set this up, and then months and months and months before you ever have to do anything again, because it's so simple. It's not something you have to maintain on a daily or a weekly basis, and that makes it so easy for anyone. All you want it to do is to make those outdoors a lot more enjoyable. It will do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity, especially since we're just in the very beginning of the season, and you're like, okay, we got a lot of bugs, we got a lot of flies. And I do believe it's just awful. Have you ever been and you invited people over and then you had to go inside to the kitchen simply because you were getting all chewed up? Or maybe you're lucky enough to go on a vacation, or you have a cabin, and everybody wants to spend time, especially in the evenings. You want to see the sunset, enjoy that cool breeze, you want to sit outside, but you're just being eaten up by mosquitoes. It just ruins everything. Why not have this simple, safe, and silent, effective system to be able to get rid of those nasty pests? If I were at home right now, and we've all experienced this issue with the bugs and the flies and the mosquitoes and everything else, I don't see a reason why not to try it. Because again, we have the biggest configuration, you get more bulbs than anywhere else, and we have the best, most affordable price of any versions that are out there. So tonight's a great place to get it, and with the 90-day return policy, you have until almost the beginning of September to try this out. I mean, that's in the thick of the bitey season to make sure that you absolutely love it. And you know what? If you don't, by this September, we're going to actually refund your money. I mean, that's unprecedented for us to be able to offer that. And I love the fact that we can, and get rid of the pest. And so we said this earlier too, reclaim that outdoor space. It's such a bummer when you finally, the weather gets good enough that you can go enjoy the outdoors, but you can't enjoy the outdoors.
That was always me. I don't want to eat outside. Well, come on, we eat outside. It's so nice. We have a beautiful yard. We're lucky to have a pool back there. I don't want to go out there. This is before. I've had my DynaTrap half acre for close to a year, and then I just put the full acre out there about 3 weeks ago, and it's a huge difference. So if you're like so many of us, I don't think there's anyone out there who doesn't have that bug story, trying to enjoy the outdoors during the summer. You will be blown away. Remember, we're going to draw those bugs in. This has been independently tested. We're going to take care of those mosquitoes, the flies, the hornets, the wasps, the moths, and the stink bugs. But those are the 6 that have been tested that it is going to trap those bugs. But if you have different bugs that you're concerned about, you've got to try this because it's going to trap them as well. And remember, this is all those predatory bugs. It's not going to collect the good bugs. So it's your butterflies are a good one, and your bees, of course, not going to trap any of those. But you are going to love it, and it's going to work 24 hours a day, which to me is perfect. That's what you want. You don't want to hassle. This is completely different than all those other systems because it is so simple, it is so easy, and it works. Set this up, plug it in, let it go 24 hours a day, and then just look down here. This is where they're all going to be trapped. And you can look in there. It's a little bit of fun. We actually even had the one viewer who was saying that the kids were checking out what bugs were actually trapped.
Bugs were caught.
But you see them in there. So it only takes a few days to see that it's starting to work. So then remember, in a few days, you've already trapped a certain amount. Think about that in a week, then in a month, and how great your summer's going to be because you are trapping all the bugs that are annoying you the most. The DynaTrap has come up with amazing technology.
Yeah.
The coolest thing about this is that this is replicating what attracts the bugs to us. And that's when we exhale and that carbon dioxide. We're going to produce that with the light to bring them in and then trap them.
That's so smart.
So it's not
I love what
temporary.
John's on here. He says he actually uses his at campsites. It works great for RVs and all the places I go with it.
You know, it's so true. So, you know, we're thinking about cumulatively, it's going to do a great job. But if you are to put this out at a campsite and you're going to be there for a few days, as soon as you plug it in and it's on, it's starting to attract those bugs. So that's a great idea.
Yeah, it really is.
And I mean, if you have that half acre, super easy to take with you and plug that in.
Absolutely. And again, you know, right now, what I love about midnight, which normally doesn't happen later on in the day, is we've got all choices and all colors. Pete and I have done many today's specials. We've launched them, or I've come back at the end of the day to finish them up, and I'm like, Pete, how much do we got left? He goes, you have one color. I'm like, oh, great. But tonight you have them all. We have this beautiful stone. We have the bronze. We have the black. The black's the original color, and the bronze and the stone are the newer colors. So we have all 3. The bronze is the #1 most popular right now. I love it too. And that looks great. If you have our solar lights, these are going to match back to the solar lights beautifully. We have the 1 acre version, which you're seeing right there, and the most popular size is actually the half acre. The half acre you can get home right now for a little over $15 over the next 5 months. And once again, I have to remind you, and basically 2 to 1 are picking up the half acre. You have 90 days to try this out. So if you're concerned and you're like, well, I don't know, is it really going to work? We're giving you an unprecedented 90 days to make sure it absolutely works. That means we're saying it works so well, we want to challenge you to try it during the buggiest, bitiest part of the year. How amazing is that? It's not like we're launching in January and we say, oh, you got till March. Everybody goes, well, there's no bugs. We're saying at the thick of the worst bug season, we're challenging you to try this tonight during the thickest part of the season when there's more bites and more bugs out there. And if you don't absolutely love it, it doesn't perform like we say and really make a difference, then we're still going to refund your money at the end of the summer. In September, when basically the buggy season is basically done, that's how confident we are that you are going to find this to be a magnificent addition to really reclaiming your outdoor space. All right, we got a couple more seconds real quick, right? 20 more seconds. Any last things?
You're going to love this. Put it somewhere 20 to 25 feet from where you want to enjoy your outdoors, and it is going to draw all those annoying bugs to it, trap them, and you're going to have a great summer. All
right, there you go. So the 1 acre, we have the half acre, 3 different colors. We've got flex, all of it first, last, and only time as the today's special for the entire year. Coming up next, Coin Collector.